Okay, I want you to imagine something. Picture a world where inherited diseases are just gone, a thing of the past. A world where we can actually go in and correct genetic errors before they ever have a chance to cause harm. Now, this isn't science fiction anymore. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most powerful and, yeah, one of the most controversial technologies of our time, gene editing. So let's just get right to the heart of it. No messing around. If you had the power to choose your baby's traits, maybe just to guarantee they'd be healthy, or maybe to give them a bit of an edge in life, would you do it? It's a heavy question for sure, but it's one we might all have to answer a lot sooner than we think. And look, the reason this isn't just some late-night philosophical debate anymore is because of a revolutionary tool called CRISPR. It is an absolute game changer that has taken gene editing from something theoretical, something in a lab, to something practical. And it's forcing us to confront these massive ethical questions right now.
So, how on earth does this incredible technology actually work? Let's unpack the science behind what a lot of people are calling genetic scissors.
First up, that name, CRISPR. It's an acronym for a real mouthful. Clustered, regularly interspaced short palindromic repeats. But honestly, don't get hung up on the name. The important part, the truly revolutionary part, is what this thing can actually do. Probably the easiest way to wrap your head around CRISPR is to think of it like the find and replace function in a word processor. Control F. Except this is for the code of life itself, our DNA. It's a system that can find a very, very specific part of our genetic code with just incredible precision. So how does it do it? Well, it's a really precise three-step process. First, a guide molecule acts like a biological GPS, zeroing in on the exact spot in our DNA that needs to be changed. Step 2, a special protein comes in and acts like a tiny pair of molecular scissors, making a clean cut. And finally, this is the magic part. The cell's own natural repair systems jump in to fix the break. And that's the moment where scientists can step in. They can guide that repair to either get rid of a faulty gene or even insert a new corrected piece of code. It's pretty amazing. And this brings us right to the central ethical battleground. You see, there's a huge difference between using this tool for therapy, correcting a gene that causes a terrible disease, and using it for enhancement, which is modifying traits like intelligence or athletic ability, curing a disease versus, optimizing a human. This distinction right here, this is where the debate really catches fire. But for a minute, let's just focus on the incredible promise of this technology. I mean, what would a world without inherited disease even look like? The potential benefits, they're almost utopian. Seriously, we are talking about the very real possibility of eliminating devastating inherited diseases like cystic fibrosis or Duchenne muscular dystrophy forever. Research has already corrected the gene that causes cataracts in mice. Just imagine future generations born stronger, healthier, and maybe even resistant to illnesses that have plagued us for centuries. It's an incredibly inspiring vision of the future. But, and this is a big but, with that kind of power comes profound responsibility. And a lot of people believe that when it comes to editing the human germline, that's the DNA we actually pass down to our children, science may have already blown past a critical red line. What's really interesting is that this desire to shape our own biology, it's not new at all. I mean, from Plato's ideas of a perfect society all the way to the very dark history of the eugenics movement, we've been fascinated with improving the human race for a long time. The difference now, after milestones like Dolly the sheep, is that we actually have the tools to do it. And all of that came to a dramatic head in 2018. That's right, in 2018, a Chinese scientist named He Jiankui announced he had created the world's first gene-edited babies. He claimed he had altered their DNA to make them resistant to HIV. And that announcement sent absolute shockwaves through the scientific community and, the entire world. This was no longer a hypothetical. Suddenly, the ethical debate was urgent, it was real, and it was completely unavoidable. And that one event really brought all the core dilemmas into sharp focus. You've got the huge philosophical argument about playing God. Then there's the very real societal fear of creating a genetic class divide, right? A world where only the rich can afford enhancements. And the scientific concerns are massive. What about unforeseen consequences? What if our edits cause totally new problems generations down the line? And of course, the biggest moral gray area of all, who gets to decide what a better human even is? In response, the whole global conversation has pretty much fractured into three main schools of thought. First, you have the preventative approach, which is all about extreme caution.
arguing we have to preserve our natural human inheritance. Then you have the proactive trend, which pushes back hard, saying we should reject barriers and pursue knowledge to improve humanity. And somewhere in the middle, you have the regulatory view, which is trying to find a middle path, allowing research, but with strong, clear laws that are shaped by public debate. But here's the thing. This isn't just a conversation for scientists and ethicists anymore. This technology is going to shape the future of our entire species. And these are questions that we all need to start thinking about them. So I'll leave you with this. If science gives us this incredible power, who should get to draw the line? Who decides what's okay and what's not? Should it be governments, scientists, or should it be up to individuals? And think about this. Is the quest to create a perfect child the ultimate form of progress, or does it actually threaten the very diversity and, the imperfection that makes us human in the first place? And that brings us to the biggest question of all. Are we ready to take control of our own evolution? And more importantly, should we? The science is moving forward fast, whether we're ready for it or not. And it forces us to ask a really fundamental question. In our quest to perfect ourselves, our biology, what part of our humanity are we willing to risk losing?